Okay, Polite Banter the podcast, episode number 8. We had a double check, but definitely number 8. And today we're going to do some casual conversation. They seem to be doing pretty well. We seem to like them, so we're going to keep it up. But before we get into our topics, Chris, how is your day going? Or just your week?
Today in general has been kind of lame. It was kind of raining out, so I didn't really get to do anything fun. I had to pick up groceries today for my family at Aldi's, and I got our order wrong, so I had to drive home and then come back like 3 hours later. But yeah, so today wasn't that great, but my week as a whole was pretty great. I don't know. How about you, Elijah? How's your week?
It's got to be same story as last time. Those professors are laying it on thick, so just busy with the homework.
Yeah, Grant, how was your week?
Absolutely action-packed and exciting. No, not really. Same exact week as last week, except probably more assignments. And they got to get ready for finals coming up pretty soon. So I guess that's one thing to look forward to
Yeah, I
when
guess.
finals are over.
Have you guys gotten your finals? Like, what do you have to do?
Yeah.
Not yet. No.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here.
Just
I
like
pretty much
projects
know
and
how
stuff,
mine are.
but that's about it.
Crazy. Elijah, what do you have to do?
I actually have a lot of projects for mine, so I only have one actual test. So sorry for you guys who have a bunch of tests, but I only have one real test. The rest are just projects and one paper that I have to write. So not too bad.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like this week has just been like catching up, getting everything ready. I got a few classes completed actually, well, like before the final as far as assignments go, but there's still a few I gotta get down, and I'm kind of procrastinating. So I had to make a schedule for myself. Like, all right, this time we're gonna do this, take a break, and then yeah. But not too bad. I'm just scared when school ends. I'll have like literally nothing to do. But we will see. Okay, the first thing before we get into topics for the podcast, I wanted to bring up something, and for the people at home on the screen, you can see the recent Navy footage they released about the UFO craft, and I assume people here, you guys have seen the footage, right?
Yeah, I saw the footage.
And it's pretty wild. This thing's going against the wind at it's going against 100-mile-per-hour wind, and it's just flying like it's going thousands of miles per hour, just breaking the laws of physics.
Just zooming out there.
Everyday stuff, just breaking the laws of physics. But yeah. I mean, Grant, what do you think this is?
I don't know, man. Like, I saw a little bit of the video. I honestly don't know. Like, with all the stuff going on this year in general, like all the weird stuff and like the pandemic, everything like that. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it if it was like aliens or something like that. Wouldn't doubt it. Don't know for sure though.
Who knows? Elijah, thoughts?
Initial thought, aliens. Secondary thought, probably not. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that they released it. I think it's kind of funny. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that they really don't know what it is. So it really is a UFO. And so it's kind of cool.
Definitely. Chris, your thoughts?
I haven't seen the video. I've just seen the pictures online, so I kind of have an idea, but I haven't seen it actually moving or any video. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool if it was an alien or something, but I feel like it's not. But
What
at
if they're
the same
not
time,
friendly aliens, Chris?
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, but we always jump to conclusions that they're gonna take us out. But
Yeah.
I don't know. What if they just
They
want to
could
be
be nice.
friends or yeah, they just want
Alright.
to study us or something. I don't know.
Chris,
But yeah.
Chris wants to give the aliens a chance.
Yeah, I do. But yeah, I don't know. I guess after this podcast I'll have to actually watch it and see what other people online say and other theories about what it could be, or if not, we may never know.
Yeah, and for the viewers at home, I'm gonna put the top link in the description. Will be the video that I think it was the New York Times did. They even have the audio of the Navy people that tracked it and their reaction, and they're just baffled. Like they're just like, I have no idea what that is. But
It's just like
yeah,
some kid's drone flying around.
exactly. No, they just found Sonic just like running.
Yeah, it's actually a DJI marketing scheme. It's a drone.
Exactly. It's all big one setup. No, but it's probably I don't know. I've talked to my dad about it, and shout out to my dad, but he actually thinks it's like it's the Navy's vehicle. And so the whole backstory about this thing is this footage got leaked like a year ago. This is older footage, but the Navy would never confirm if there was their footage or if it was fake. And shout out to Joe Rogan. You know, I'm an avid viewer, but he actually had one of the pilots that saw this, took the video on the podcast, and he talked about it. And he was saying, you know, I have no idea what it was. And then, you know, basically, you didn't have to have the Navy's approval if it was real or not, because people already kind of knew it was. And I think this was just like the cherry on top. The Navy saying, "Oh yeah, it's a UFO. We don't know what it is." My dad thinks it's just one of their secret projects. You know, just their Mach 10 flying bulb. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be. I mean, they've got some very fast planes, so like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that's actually what it was.
Yeah,
So,
this is just
but-
their way because they know other countries are gonna see this. They're like,
Right.
yeah, we don't know if that is.
True. And just the fact that they're surprised doesn't mean that it wasn't like the Navy's, because I mean, it's not like everyone knows everything. You know,
True.
there's classified things that not every person is gonna know in the armed forces. So
Yeah, very true. But I mean, if I saw that, and from the footage, even from the naked eye, it looks like it'd be kind of wild because just how fast it was going over the water. Like
Yeah, it was moving pretty quick.
it was booking it. Like that thing should be in track. Going around the track. Goodness. Okay, yeah, but okay, so to go into the topics we have here, I picked out a few. I think I got some good questions, but the kick it off, the first question I want to ask you guys, anybody can talk as soon as they have something in mind, you know. But who was your worst teacher you've ever had in your whole? And you don't have to say their name. In your whole schooling, like kindergarten all the way up, who was the worst teacher and why? And I'll just let you guys take it away.
For me, it was my sixth grade teacher at my grade school. I'm not gonna name names, but she was the worst. But I don't know. I mean, she was a nice lady outside of school, but as a teacher, I just wasn't a fan. But I don't know. You know what? Honestly, though, I take that back because I feel like I've never had a truly awful teacher. Like, even though she was my least favorite teacher in my catalog of teachers I've had, I've never truly had like an awful teacher. But I just remember like she would like get crabby all the time. But you know, you never know what's going on in someone's life. So I don't know, Elijah. What about you? You ever have a bad teacher?
honestly, and I promise I'm not just kissing up here. I really don't think I've had a bad teacher. And even if I have had like a bad teacher, I think it definitely wasn't like in grade school when that teacher's with you all the time. It definitely would have been like more like high school or college or something like that. But like nothing really sticks out in my mind, honestly. So I don't know. I'd say I've never really had a bad teacher. So, and if I have, I didn't really have to deal with them for that long time. So
True. Grantley, any bad teachers?
I don't know. I've had teachers, like I don't really have like one specifically really bad teacher, but like in high school there was a teacher and she was like, you know, one of those classic the bell doesn't dismiss you, I dismiss you.
Yeah.
And like one of those. And like, I don't know, kind of like what Chris was saying, like kind of crabby seemingly all the time, or like only with certain people. But yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. I have a few, but not a few. I guess just two. But I'm not gonna name names. But in intermediate school, which is like third through fifth, I had a teacher in my early years there, and she always I just don't think she liked me. Like I think that was just the deal. But she would always like give me a hard time. Like there was one time where she told me something like I have another context, but she was like, you know, do this. Like she basically just told me to do something, and I replied, okay, like okay, I'll do it, but okay, and then she was like, no, that's not okay. Like no, it's not okay. You have to do it. I was like, okay. Like no,
Okay.
it's not okay. And I didn't know what to say. I just like broke down. I was like, all right. And then she was like,
Wait,
no,
you
it's
just
not.
started crying?
No, I was like, I broke down mentally. Like I just didn't know what to say. I was like, all right. She goes, no, it's not all right. I was like, what do I say? Like she cornered me in
Yes,
vocabulary.
ma'am.
It's not all right. It's not okay. You just need to do it, okay?
I was like, okay, I'll do it. No, it's not okay. I'm like, no, I'm saying, I don't know. It was so annoying. And then there was one time where she scared me. I was so scared to go to school. And one time we were doing like long division, and I just like, I could do it. I just like, she was so like intimidating that I didn't want to do it. It was like, I don't remember the situation. I was like protesting, like, I don't like you. I don't know. And then she was like, are you gonna do your long division? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. But I was kind of being slow at it. And then she got mad at me because I was taking my time. And then it was recess time. She was, that's it. She kept me in for recess and made me like do all the problems. I remember she was so mean. And then I told the principal one time, I was like, yo, you gotta move me. Like me and this teacher aren't clicking. And you know the principal. They're like, they're fine. I don't know. It was just like, I don't even know. And then in 6th grade, I had this teacher, and she was like, kind of like Chris was saying, kind of just all like bad attitude sometimes. But there was one time, me and my friend sat at the same table, and we were doing a quiz. And then mind you, we were across the table, so there's no way we could cheat. Anyway, end of the day, she brings us up to her table, and she's like, I know you guys cheated. And we looked at each other, we were like, no, we didn't cheat. And it was like, your answers are the exact same, but we got all of them right. Like, no.
So you were just studying.
And then
You
she's
studied
like,
before.
I know. She's like, I know how you boys work at your age, or something like that. And then we're just me and my friend are sitting there. We're like, okay, confess. Did you cheat? And he was like, no. And we're basically arguing. And then we realized, we're like, bro, she's pinning us against us. She's trying to make us fight. I don't know. It was just really awkward and really weird. But yeah.
Trying to break apart your friendship.
I know. We were like, what is she doing? But yeah, that was a time. And then for the next question, which kind of follows through with the same theme, what is the best teacher you've ever had and why? And I'll give it to Chris.
My best teacher. I'm gonna have to give it to my 5th grade teacher. So the one I had right before 6th grade. He was just a really cool guy. He was really intelligent, and he also like he was strict when he had to be strict. So he wasn't like too like much of a goofball kind of teacher, but like he also was like really interesting, and he made class fun, but also like he had like good control of his class. Also, this was something that like I didn't like at first, but it like kind of got me into reading more, because I'd always liked reading, but I guess the books I stuck to were very like Harry Potter or whatever like was cool at the time. But he would always like read us like really like obscure books that I'd never heard of, and I really liked that because he introduced me to a lot of like good books. Kind of wish I would get back into reading. Not gonna lie, I kind of don't read as much as I used to, but I definitely appreciate his teaching style. Also, another really cool thing he did was he got me into forensics and like performing in front of people. So it was one of those things where like I don't think I would have like fully gotten out of my comfort zone if it weren't for him. So yeah, I definitely use my top teacher, hands down. Elijah, how about you?
Best teacher I've had has to be my 6th through 8th grade teacher. So I went to a pretty small school, as you guys know, and so we only had like 7 kids in my class. So we had one teacher who managed 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and it's kind of crazy that he could do that. But yeah, he was really good at that. He was always fun. He had good jokes. We had reading time, which I guess that's not something you might expect for like 8th graders, but it was awesome. Yeah, he would always play with us at recess. And so we were also family friends with him too. So that kind of helped as well. But yeah, definitely had the biggest influence on my childhood as a teacher. So
Nice. Great. What about you in your Sheboygan days?
I would probably have to say my high school history teacher. Like junior, no, yeah, I think it was junior year, like world history, I think it was. And I don't know, he just made the class like really interesting and like I kind of like history as it is, but I don't know, he like added variety to the class. It wasn't just like the same thing every day. He like got the students involved and everything, and yeah, made it interesting.
Nice.
So,
For
yeah,
me, actually, my high school world history teacher, like Grant, actually,
nice.
but I think it was, we did it sophomore year, but he was really cool because he was like, I don't even know, he was just like really nice to me. And then he would go to my soccer games when I played soccer sophomore year. And he was like the second father I had. It was weird. Like, that's the way he treated me. It was like, I'm going to your game sport. I was like, okay. And he'd be there. But no, I was like, because I hated like being like social, and I was always introverted in high school. And he would always like try to make me extroverted, even though I didn't want to. But every time he'd ask me a question like, "Oh, how are you gonna do with this? Like, how's your game? Like, are you excited for your soccer game?" And I'd always say like, "Oh, I think so," or maybe. And then one time he just like sat me down and was like, "Never use maybe. Always use like I'm going to do it. Like manifest it." And at the time I was like,
Oh,
but at the time I was
Wow.
like, this guy's corny. Like I'm not gonna manifest it. But as I got older, I took a lot of advice from him. But I feel like I'm definitely more like extroverted and like much more confident because of him. But yeah, he was a cool guy. I wonder how he's doing though. I mean, if he's still being confident, going to soccer games. But yeah. All right. The second question I have. Let's see. I got a good question. What's the funniest thing you've seen a stranger do?
Oh boy.
Chris, you got
I've seen
one?
a lot of I've seen a lot of weird stuff by like random people. Um yeah, cuz I worked in retail for like 3 years and you just see some weird people sometimes. Um oh man, top of my head, I guess I had a woman who was like she was trying to steal something and everybody knew she was trying to steal and like she just did a really bad job of like trying to trick the people to like not pay attention to her and she's just kind of like hanging around this jacket she wanted to buy and she never like stole it but she like literally my shift was like 5 hours and she came to our store like 3 times just to like try to steal this thing and I don't know it was just kind of funny to watch. She was nice too, like she was really nice to us, but it just was like the most obvious like I'm just trying to steal this jacket, I'm just waiting for the right time kind of thing. And funny fact, I guess she got caught at like another store in the Milwaukee area. So
Oh,
that's what like was like icing on the cake. But I don't know, I've seen so many weird stuff. Like I when I was a little kid, I'd like go to the 4th of July parties, you know, and like fireworks and stuff, and you'd always just see a bunch of like weirdos and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But nothing like specific that's coming to my mind right now. But I don't know, Elijah, how about you?
I'm gonna pass on this. I can't. I've seen people do some weird things, but I'm trying to think of one. I can't think of one. So
we can get back to you if you remember. But Grant, what about you?
So almost exactly what Chris mentioned, like at the end, 4th of July, people get really weird at like the 4th of July parades or like firework launching things, especially in Sheboygan. So we have a lighthouse here at Sheboygan, and usually you're not supposed to jump off of the pier that goes to the lighthouse, but some people decided to do that on 4th of July at like 9:30 at night. And riptide
Oh, jeez.
is like a thing that exists
Yeah.
out there. I don't know. My mom always makes a big fuss about it. Like, don't ever go jump off the pier out there. You're gonna get riptide and get pulled away. Like, I don't know. But yeah, some people, I don't know, were feeling a little bit reckless. 4th of July in Sheboygan decided to jump off the pier, and yeah, I don't know
Goodness.
if that's the weirdest thing, but that's one weird thing I saw.
Interesting. For me, I think I have two stories. I think the weirdest thing, because like Chris said, I worked at retail from the ages of late 15 to 18, so I definitely had my fair share of experience at the retail life. But weird things I saw. There was one time where like we had this bathroom, and you had to like ask for the code for the bathroom because I guess in big cities out here, because there's a lot of like homeless people, and they'll use a bathroom for not good things, so you have to like open it for people basically, and give people like access to the bathroom. But people would come up and be like, oh, what's the code? So I would have to walk with them, open the bathroom, give it to them. But there was one time where like this couple walked in. They're like holding hands. Just being like just like a couple, and they were kind of laughing. They're like, "Hey, can we use the bathroom?" And I'm like, "We?" Like at first I was confused, but I was like, "Whatever. I've seen whatever." So I walk with them to the bathroom, open it up, and I'm thinking, okay, probably like one of them's gonna go in, one of them's gonna wait. Open it up. They both go in the bathroom. So I'm like, and these are high school kids. So I'm like, okay, well I don't get paid enough for this, so I'm just gonna walk away. I really didn't care, so I walk away, and I worked Saturday and Sunday nights. This was a Sunday night, and Sunday nights at Target like dead, nobody there. So I would just like I would be at the front. And me and my friend Elmer, which I haven't talked to him in years, but shout out to Elmer. We would just sit in the front, just talk, and just like goof around, just like bro talk, whatever. So we're just talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I got to use the restroom." I was like, "Yeah, okay." I was like, and the code would change every month, or maybe it was a week. I think it was a month. All I know is you go to the back room, the post note would be next to the sign in about the new code. Anyway, so he's like, "Yeah, I'll be right back." So he goes. And this is like hours later, by the way. He goes to the bathroom, tries to open it up, and comes back. He's like, "Yeah, it's locked." He's like, "I think I don't know the new code." I was like, "Oh, I know it." So I go with him. I open it. I try the code, and then it opens. And I open it, and then they're just sitting in there. It's the couple, just like they're just talking, like
just in the bathroom.
Yeah, just like, and I'm like,
just hanging out.
It's been 3 hours, and they're talking. I'm like, "Hey, you need to leave." That's all I said. Like I was like, you probably should leave. And then they're just like, okay, we'll leave. And they left, and that was it.
What?
Yeah, it was odd. Anyway,
that is very strange. Wow.
And I have a second story, and I know I'm talking a lot, but I have some good stories. So this story,
go right ahead.
This story. So I did club soccer from the ages of like 5 to 13, maybe. And this was probably 8 or 9. This was like towards the middle of my career, playing club soccer. But near our club, we had a bunch of fields, and then at the end of the fields, there were like these woods, and we were at one of the end fields where the woods were, and we're all practicing. I think it's like towards the end of practice, or no, there's probably like 30 minutes left. But it's getting kind of dark out, and I think I noticed it, but I look over and I see this like old lady with like a cane come out of the woods, like stereotypical old woman, like permed hair, like giant like overdressed like pajamas, I don't know, like slippers, the average granny look. And this what appeared to be a grandma just walked out of the woods, and I'm thinking, okay, well, there's no houses in that woods, so it's kind of weird. Like, why is Granny in the woods? And then I'm like, whatever. And so we keep practicing. I look over, and the grandma just like ditched her cane and starts like walking back and forth. And I'm like, oh wow, that's kind of odd. But I don't care. It's Indiana. It could be weirder. And I've seen some weird things. So I keep walking. I look over, and this grandma's like pacing back and forth, but like jogging, like at pretty good speed. And I'm like, okay.
In pajamas and slippers?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this is weird. Soon enough, I just ignore it, 'cause it's kind of off in the distance, but like you can still see it, you can still make it out. So I'm like, I'm just gonna ignore it. It is what it is. So we're doing a huddle, and this kid just screams, "What is she doing?" I look around, and this grandma lady is doing like acting like a frog, like doing like leaps like a frog across like the soccer field. And it's
what?
It's so creepy because it was getting nighttime, and the woods are dark behind her, and then it starts just running and like rolling in the grass and like this creepy lady, and so my coach was like, "It's probably just some teenager dressed up trying to scare you guys," and then this lady is just like screaming, running around like a frog. I don't know, it was so weird, and I was so scared because like I'm thinking this is like the creepiest thing ever. So my mom takes me home, and we go home. I'm in my bed. I'm like shaking because I'm so scared. I'm about to go to bed, and I'm like looking out my window. I'm just like, dude, if that lady comes out the woods, I'm just it's over. She never
Great.
did, but man, it's just like one of the creepiest times in my life. It was funny, but I mean, would you guys be scared if an old lady
Wow.
was doing that?
I
I
probably
would
would be pretty
definitely.
scared.
I would be freaking.
I don't know what the motive was. It was just pretty freaky. Okay, so for the next question, and this one, I don't know if you guys have a thing for it. Maybe you do. But what's the funniest way you've been injured?
Oh, I got one for this.
Elijah, you can start.
All right. So I was 8 years old. 8-year-old me. I fell out of a van and cut my shin. So the van was stationary, and I honestly I don't know how it happened, but I was just stepping out the door, just fell right out it, and I cut my shin to the bone actually.
Ooh,
Had to get stitches. To date, that's the only stitches I've had, but yeah, fell right out of a van.
the old van jump out. Had to get away. Nice. Chris, you got a funny story?
Of getting injured?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Like I've gotten hurt every year of my life, but never like anything super serious or super funny. I mean, like there's the classic, like your friend's like, "Hey, Chris, look out!" and they like kick a ball and you don't see it and it like hits you in the back of the head or something. But
Yeah, my
him.
friends do that to me all the time.
but I don't know. I've been really lucky. I've seen like funny injuries happen to other people, but not to myself.
Oh yeah, I have two actually.
Because I can say this now because he laughs about it all the time. But one of my buddies in grade school, we all played softball. It was like co-ed. It was like guys and girls or whatever. But he was on his way to home base and he had hit an amazing he just hit it out of the park and everybody's like, yeah, go, so and so or whatever. I'm not gonna say the name, but right when he was about to, he like tried to do a slide and be cool and he broke his arm.
Oh,
And
jeez.
he was kind of a funny guy, so like everybody was like didn't realize how hurt he was at first, so people were kind of laughing, but then the scene went from like everybody laughing to like, oh my gosh, he's in like actual pain, and the next thing we know, like an ambulance is coming, and yeah, he ended up being fine, but yeah, that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
but also not funny, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like looking back it was hilarious. In the moment it was not funny, but like we look back on that, it's like that was pretty funny.
I get you.
Actually, Chris, that reminds me. I actually have a story, not about me, but I have a story about my friend, and I was kind of involved in it, him getting hurt. So, all right. So I would like to go to the athletic club in high school with like a bunch of my friends. We would kind of just like hang out there, play basketball, but sometimes we'd get pretty bored. So we'd like try and find like weird things to do. And so this one day we decided to go in like the daycare area because it was empty at the time. And so the daycare area just has like all these mats that like line the room, and there's all these balls in there. And we're like, well, let's do something here. So we decided to like make a game. And so this game we made, it's pretty fun. It's called Mexican Standoff. All right,
Nice.
it's kind of like a variation of dodgeball, but it has like more mechanics, like different balls do different things, that sort of thing. So anyways, it's a pretty fun game. We're playing that. There's a ball called the silver bullet. So if you get that ball, it's a one-hit kill. So both my friend and I, we're obviously going for that because we're trying to make some big moves. And going for it at the same time, somehow he ends up kicking the ground and actually breaks his big toe.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, I to this date we don't even know how it happened. He claims it was my fault. Everyone else, everyone else just thinks he kicked the ground. So, and it gets worse because these are actually the friends that I was hanging out with. They're on my cross country team, and we happened to be 2 weeks into the season, and the kid who broke his big toe was out for like the next 4 weeks of the season, and he also happened to be our number one runner. So, yes.
And it's all your fault, Elijah.
Right, and I guess it wasn't completely bad because since he was hurt, I was our number one runner.
Ooh, okay.
So there you go.
I see what you did. You know, brought the spotlight back on you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, people were thinking I did it on purpose.
Nice. Let's see, Grant. Do you got any funny injuries?
Yeah. I have a couple up my sleeve. So me and my sister, or well, me and my siblings in general, we would always love to bike to the local Piggly Wiggly in Howard's Grove because we lived pretty close to it, and we'd get donuts every now and then, 25-cent donut.
Okay.
Bike there, bike back, But yeah, to get there, you had to go down like this grass hill thing, and it was me and my sister Hannah, and she goes down the hill to like the back of the parking lot of Piggly Wiggly, and back in the back of the parking lot, it's like pavement, but there's like black gravel all over it because like the pavement's so torn up. So I go down the hill. I'm zooming down the hill pretty quick.
Zooming.
My gear breaks on my
Oh.
bike, like it pops off. And like this is when I'm like standing up. So I step down and like I miss the pedal, just like destroy my knee. Not destroy it, but like totally scrape it up. And yeah, you know me. I start bawling my eyes out. I'm like, Hannah, I'm hurt and my bike is broken, be yelling at Hannah. And I'm like, and Hannah's like, what do you want me to do about it? So I tell her to give me her bike, and her bike is like, Princess Barbie pink bike thing. So I cop Hannah's bike, ride it all the way back with a bloody knee, and I'm like crying my eyes out the whole way.
Wait, time out. You just left her there? Did she have to walk your bike back?
she walked my bike all the way back home.
Wow, sister.
Which is like probably a mile and a half, maybe.
Oh jeez.
Well, that was a nice sister.
Yep. Yeah, I took one for the team.
Did the chain fall off? You can put that back on, right?
I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking in the moment. I thought I was gonna lose my leg.
Yeah,
so
the pain.
I gotta get home.
Was just too great to think rationally.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah.
And what a Hannah response too. What do you want me to do about it?
Yeah. Classic Hannah. But yeah.
Nice.
Fun story.
Okay, yeah. So I have one. So we in my backyard in Indiana growing up, we had like a jungle gym kinda, like had a slide, swings, and a 45-degree rock climbing wall. So we had this like 45-degree rock climbing wall. And I think I was by myself and I think I was 6 or like I was pretty young. I think I was 7. But I looked at this wall, this 45-degree wall, and I was like, I want to do a backflip off it like so bad. And I don't know why I just like ran up it, did a backflip, but didn't fully turn. So I was like elbows sticking out and just like bam on the ground.
Oh man!
And that was the first time. First time I broke my arm. It was.
Wait, that was the first time you broke your arm?
Second time I broke my arm. I was on a scooter with my boy Brad, and we were like racing down the street or something. And he was beating me, so I kicked into maximum overdrive and started like kicking like a madman. Kicked way too hard, slipped and broke my other arm. So I had like my right arm and broke my left arm. It was pretty bad. But
yes, sounds like you were quite the daredevil.
Yeah, just doing backflips off of walls. I don't know why.
Yeah.
To this day, I don't know why. Because like, if you knew me back then, I would not do that. And I could never do a backflip on a trampoline. Just something in me was like, this is it. This is what I have to do.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think as a kid, I wasn't honestly very adventurous like that. Like, I felt like always like when stuff like that would or like arise, the opportunities for that would arise. I'd always be like, nah, that's gonna end badly.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. Maybe I just didn't trust myself athletically enough to do things like that.
Maybe. But yeah, just being devious as a youngin. But so this next question, and I think this is a good question for especially you guys, but because you guys live up north. But what's the coldest you've ever been, and where was it?
Ooh, I got one.
Go ahead.
Actually, it was it? I think it was last year actually. Around that polar vortex. So for those who don't know, I also lived in Alaska, but actually last year in Wisconsin here, we had a polar vortex come through, and it got down to -40, I believe, and then with the wind chill, I think it was even colder than that. So yeah, -40, and it was just right in Milwaukee.
Jeez. Yeah, I heard about that. They like canceled classes too, right?
Actually, no.
Oh, they did it early?
No, you just walked to class. Like everyone was really close, so like it wasn't that
That's
bad.
true. Yeah, the campus is
Yeah,
not
you
bad.
you just kind of bundle up. It was like weird because they were like, yeah, don't stay outside for more than like 30 minutes because you'll get frostbite. But no, classes were still going.
I think TJ said his eyelashes froze or something like when that happened.
Yeah,
He was telling me about that.
I remember that, and we had like a morning practice, or it was like a meet or something for a track, and we had to walk. I had to walk from like Steinmack to the Rex, which is, I don't know, it's not that far, but my eyes were like physically hurting.
Oh my gosh.
That's how cold it was. It was terrible.
Jeez. So was that the coldest you've ever been, Grant?
Yeah, probably. Like that was probably the coldest temperatures I've ever experienced. But another really cold time was the state cross country meet. It was my junior year, I think it was. And we warmed up way too much for our race. We probably ran like 4 miles before our race. Because we're like, we got to stay warm. We got to keep our bodies warm. We got to keep moving. I'm like, okay. So we're running all over the place. And then we get back to the tent and we're all sweaty. And then we're like, oh man, I'm really cold because I'm all like wet or whatever. So then we go running again. And then by the time the race starts, we're all exhausted and we're freezing. And it's like, there's like flurries out. And yeah, really fun race, but it was freezing.
Dang. Yeah, I think the coldest I've ever been was last fall. It was a cross country meet, and Elijah and Chris will know. It was the one where we went to. It was the golf course. Yeah, it was the golf course, and I think Elijah. I think your brother's dog came too.
Yeah,
If I remember.
I know that one.
Yeah, but it was like really early, and I didn't have pants, like good pants. I just remember just sitting there, just like freezing. It was, I don't even know what the temperature was, but I don't even know like why. I just was like, I was dying. Like I just felt like, and I think me and Caleb, because the other freshman that ran, we were both not from like the good north, the true north. So I think we both went into like the porta potty to like warm up. Like actually, it was just so cold.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
But
Wait,
like,
so
go ahead. What'd you say?
did you forget pants for a cross country meet?
Yeah. So when I came,
I know Grant can't even comprehend this, Jacob.
So when it was the
I'm
first few
sorry.
meets. I ended up getting pants like the third meet. This is like one of the first few meets.
Oh, nice.
But what happened was I just totally forgot my warm up pants from home. So all I brought to college was like shorts and jeans because like I wasn't thinking. I was like, yep, this should be good. So the first few
Okay.
races, I was just like, not dying. I was fine, but just that race in particular, like I couldn't feel my toes. It was just bad. But then I ended up my
Yeah.
mom and like mailing the pants back. But yeah, it was pretty rough. But Chris, do you have a cold story?
Yeah, I think the coldest. So like the coldest I've ever been, I think was like whenever in Wisconsin, whenever the polar vortex we had. But like mentally and like of my memories that felt the coldest, it was when I went hunting my freshman year of high school. I don't know. I just like it probably wasn't. I mean, it was cold. Don't get me wrong, but it probably wasn't like the coldest I've ever been. But because I was just like somewhat underdressed with the layers, and I was just super bored that day. It just was like I felt like I was freezing big time. And I was wearing like I don't know if you guys know, but alpaca socks are super warm. Like you shouldn't like if you're wearing those hunting, you should have no problem. But even with those on, my feet were freezing.
Jeez, those
So yeah, that's
Wisconsin, that Wisconsin weather, man.
Yeah, Chris. Actually, the coldest I felt too was also hunting. So
yeah. I think
I
it's
can
just like
relate.
yeah, I think it's just because like you're sitting there and if you don't see anything, you get bored, so you start to think about it. But it gets cold, and you gotta stay like perfectly still for the most part. So you don't want to be like making a lot of ruckus in your tree stand or whatever you were in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, some people have those heated tree stands, but we're not that
Oh,
fancy.
I wish.
So
That's super fancy.
you just kind of sit out in the cold, and so I think it's the moving around actually warms you up. So I think it's the fact that you're just sitting there. It's just like you slowly just get colder
Yeah.
and colder.
Exactly.
So, but
Interesting. Yeah, I've never been hunting, but now I know not to do it when it's cold out because it sounds like
Well,
good luck
well,
with that.
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
go deer hunting if you don't want to
Yeah,
be
so I was
cold.
gonna say, don't deer hunting is pretty much always you're gonna be cold no matter what.
not even the alpacas could save you. Jeez.
No.
No, sir.
All right, so my last question, and we're like 42 minutes in, so I feel like this is like a good spot. But I don't know. I honestly I don't know what I would say of this question. I think I do know, but here's the question. So if you could go back in time, and you could see your kindergarten self, I think you're like what 5 or 6 in kindergarten. If you go back and see your kindergarten self, what advice would you give like yourself?
Ooh, I got
That's deep.
something.
All right, Elijah, go ahead.
All right, I would go back if I could tell myself anything from the 23 years that I've lived on this planet. What I've learned that I should tell myself when I go back is to not sell your Legos. I sold my Legos when I was 10 years old. Honestly, I was okay with it for a couple years, but I've regretted it ever since. So,
Dang.
and honestly, I think kindergarten me would be like, yeah, duh, I'm not going to sell my Legos. Like, obviously, but I don't know. That'd be some advice I'd give myself.
That's good. It's good advice. You gotta keep on to those Legos sometimes. Let's see, Chris, you got any advice you want to give yourself?
Oh boy, this is deep. I think I tell my kindergarten self to like invest a little more time or like I guess like take risks in certain like hobbies and interests at a young age versus like when you get older. Like obviously when you're older you can do whatever you want, but also it's like there's certain things that it's just like it's kind of a lost cause. But sometimes I wish I would have like done certain like hobbies and stuff like that, like took more risks when I was younger when I could have made more risks and stuff like that. And then obviously like do more push-ups, all that kind of stuff, like maybe start doing the miles around like 4th grade, 5th grade versus like high school year, really getting into like, cause I'm a big runner. So, I've always ran, but I didn't really start like taking it seriously till probably like my sophomore year of high school. And like, I know some of the best runners I know, like they were running long miles in like 6th, 5th grade, at that age, sometimes even younger,
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with my life. Didn't sell my Legos, Eli.
Nice.
You still got them, Chris?
I have a few. We kept some of them, but I don't have all of them. But I have like a tub left.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll have to play with them sometime.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll invite you guys over for a Lego session.
A
We'll just,
Lego sesh.
yeah, it'll be lit.
Comment down below if you want to see a Polite Banter live stream Lego building.
Like-
Best.
Yes.
We can just podcast and build, you know,
Who can build the tallest tower?
without breaking.
Ooh.
Hey, that's a video idea for the future. We could definitely.
Fair
do
enough.
that. But Grantley Goob, do you have advice you want to give yourself?
Fun fact. My Twitter profile picture is actually a picture of my kindergarten self. So
Yeah, Mickey Mouse.
yeah. Yeah, my hair looks pretty bad. If anybody sees it out there. But anyways, I'd probably tell myself to not be afraid to try new things. You know, like put yourself out there. And like I don't know. Cuz like I was pretty introverted, and I think I still am kind of introverted person, and like kind of afraid or timid to try new things. And even if like people recommend me to do them, I still will say like, nah, I don't want to do that. Nah. But like, I don't know. Just try new things, you know?
Yeah.
Find new hobbies.
I have to agree. That was one of my things. But speaking of social media in kindergarten, if you guys go on my Instagram page and go to my story, that was me in kindergarten. But I posted.
There it
but
is.
yeah, make sure you follow all the viewers. I mean, you probably people already probably do follow. But yeah. But also, if I go back to kindergarten, tell myself something. So a little throwback. So this actually isn't my first time on YouTube. When I was really young, I actually had like a Pokemon Let's Play channel and like other games.
What?
I was really young. I was like 10 or 9. But like I remember being little and always wanting to do it. Like even at kindergarten, just like wanting to like play games. Like this is back when like 2006, so YouTube just came out and like the first gamers were coming out.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's really early
I
to be on YouTube, honestly.
It was, and so I was like, I really want to like just like entertain people on YouTube. But so at 10 years old, I had, and you can't find the channel because I deleted it. But I had a gaming channel
man.
called, it was called Green Giraffe. That's what I came up with. And I literally would just like play. I had a whole series. I played like a bunch of video games. And I remember that there was a guy, a fellow YouTuber that was my age, that I like. Him and I used to like do collab videos on like games like Pokemon and like Minecraft. You know, the kid run of the mill stuff. But and I stopped because I was so embarrassed because people at school were figuring out, and I was like, I can't do this, man. I can't ruin the reputation. He kept going. I think he's from Chicago, but he kept going, and now he has like 1 million followers. And sometimes I just like today, and sometimes
That could have been you, Jacob.
sometimes I just sit
Wow.
back and I'm like, that could have been me. Like I could have been there.
Wow.
But I'm doing this YouTube thing now. But also, if I go
Yes.
back, I'd be like, hey, you know that ambition to like entertain on the internet? Just keep it going. You'll be a millionaire
Just
one
go
day.
for it.
But
You know,
also,
Jacob,
yeah, we're gonna say,
I think you should fulfill your childhood dream and start back up another channel and do some Pokemon walkthroughs for people. I think people would enjoy that kind of content.
I would play.
I think you should go for it.
It'd probably be Mario 64 since I'm playing that like crazy. But I'll
Oh,
definitely.
true.
I could do it, man.
You should do
Do
it.
it.
Green Giraffe may come back.
Go for it.
Yeah, I could. But yeah, also like Grant said, just like tell myself to stop being so like shy. Cause like around my family, my cousins, I was like crazy. But
Yeah.
out in public, I was like looking at the ground, just like looking like I was just like gone. Like I don't want to be here. But yeah, probably that. And also to tell, so like what was it? I was little. My cousin Brad would always like play Madden on the Xbox. And he would play so much. I remember I was walking distance. I would bike to his house. I'd bike to his house, get in there. He's playing Madden. And I'm like, let's go play outside. Like, let's do kid stuff. And he's like, nah, I'm playing Madden. But I used to always, and the funny thing is, I don't know why. I would always tell him, like, I'd always say to him, what if I move one day and then we can't hang out? He's like, you're not moving. Sure enough, I moved. But
Oh man.
Yeah, and him
You
and
hate to see it.
I still talk about that. Sometimes I'll be like, Brad, remember when we were little and I said I was gonna move and I did.
Hey, Brad, remember when you didn't want to play with me because all you did was play Madden?
But if I go back in time, I would tell myself to like just unplug the Xbox. Just
Not sit down and play Madden with him.
Just unplug Brad's Xbox.
No,
Force him to play with you.
He would never want to play like with me because you do like the my career mode, or, like my player mode,
Oh.
whatever.
Yeah.
So he would grind that like crazy, and I'm just like, bud, we gotta go outside. But yeah, I'd probably ask him to do that. But yeah, that's all the questions I have. We'll just talk until we have nothing to talk about. But yeah, some good questions. I thought I really took 5 minutes to get them all ready, but I thought I did a good job.
Yes, go ahead
Yeah.
and pat yourself on the back. Good job. Good job, Jacob.
I know. But
Yes.
one thing I want to talk about is what is it? Well, I'll start with Grant. But how's the working out going, Grant? Because I see your progress pictures.
Oh yeah. No, I think it's going good. I'm like, it's kind of becoming like a thing I need to do, or else like my day will just feel weird. Like that's
Yeah, I know that feeling.
yeah. Like it's just kind of becoming a part of the day for me. Yeah.
And you installed
I'm trying to-
no, your dad installed a pull-up bar, right?
Yes. Yep. Been taking advantage of that.
Let's go.
Shout out Corey. Thank you for that.
Nice. And
Yeah.
Elijah, you working out?
I'm still working out. I'm kind of like, as Grant said, if I don't work out, it just kind of feels weird. Like it doesn't have to be like lifting or anything like that. Like I could just
Yeah.
go for a like quick little run, but
Yeah.
just got to be something just like take my mind off of work and just like have a break and just get some physical activity. I don't know. It's just something I'm used to, and it just feels wrong to not do it. But actually, as far as intensity goes, honestly, I've been working out less intense, and it's kind of just because it's kind of an excuse, but it's because I'm used to working out with like a lot of equipment, like a lot of like weight room equipment, and I don't really have that anymore. And I don't know, free weight exercises are okay, or I mean body weight exercises are okay, but I don't know. I need more resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some calisthenics will only do too much.
Yes, so maybe I'm just doing them wrong, but
Who knows?
yes, still putting in some work.
What about you, Chris? You running, getting active, lifting?
Yeah, I've ran pretty much every day since our season got done. Obviously, there's been some holidays and some like really bad weather days where I just didn't want to hop on the treadmill. But I don't know. I'm kind of like with you guys, where like I have to kind of exercise now at that point, like do something active every day. I have some dumbbells at my house, so I try to do that. I actually did a YouTube workout with my sister, so that was kind of fun. But
Nice.
I don't, yeah,
Nice.
it's kind of like a lot of core and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's been good.
That might be the same exact thing I did with Hannah a couple times. Like she saw this lady on TikTok, and she was like workout videos for abs and stuff. And she's like, "Grant, you have to do these." I'm like, okay.
Grant's on TikTok?
So of course
Yep.
he does.
So there's videos of you on TikTok of doing
No.
exercises?
No.
Oh, you just do them like you just do like what the lady does then, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were uploading these. I was like, all right, boys, in the description.
You are not gonna see me on TikTok. No way.
I was gonna link that in the description. Like, all right, to see Grant going ham.
Grant's TikTok.
Oh man, nice. Yeah, personally, I've been going crazy with working out, like weights wise. I've still been running because I've been getting a lot of weight, but I also want to keep that running stamina for season. But yeah, your boy's up 20 pounds since like last November. Just going hard with the weights. A lot of calisthenics actually, like a lot of like pull-ups, push-ups, like dips, stuff of that nature. But I got weights. But definitely working out's one thing that's just like, if I don't do it, I just feel groggy. Like I feel like I just haven't done anything in my life. I'm like, I need to do something. But yeah, it's been going good. But yeah, you guys ready for school to end?
Yeah, I
Yes,
definitely am.
sir.
Yep.
It's
But
gonna
then
be
it's
crazy.
just working and running.
Oh yeah,
About it
where are you
after
gonna
that.
work? Do you have a job lined up?
Yeah. Probably gonna work at Johnsonville, the same place that my brother works.
Oh wow,
Ooh,
And
nice,
like,
making those sausages.
yep, I'll be making brats and
Boygan
sausages.
brats.
Sheboygan,
It's some
Sheboygan
Boygan
brats.
brats.
They are
the
the
most,
best. Not gonna
the
lie.
most Sheboygan like job you could have. But yeah, I'm excited.
Nice. And then yeah, Elijah, you got a job. Chris, you got a job lined up. Sounds like. But
Yes. Yep.
I need a job, even though I don't think I can, because in California the restrictions are so bad. I don't think you can get a job. And I was gonna get a job as like at a diving place to like fill up oxygen tanks, but I don't know if I can do that. So
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. Hopefully they'll open up a little bit more.
yeah, it sounds like more states are as like the days go by.
Right. I've been seeing that in the news too, like how some states are like starting to open up public places now, and so I guess we'll see.
I think Texas and Georgia, everything's like they've opened all businesses, all just like everything so far. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to. Well, so I had my Zoom interview with Quick Trip yesterday, and it went really well. So I like pretty much got the job, but I have to go to like one more interview tomorrow in person, and then also like get to do the background check. But as of right now, I will be working for Quick Trip, so I'm pretty excited for that.
nice,
Nice.
nice. Sounds all pretty good. But yeah, I think we're gonna end the podcast. We're up to like the 50 minutes mark. But yeah, good podcast. Thanks for everybody that's made it this far for watching. Make sure you check the description or check out our Instagrams. Check out the video of the UFO that we talked about in the beginning. Maybe if people want to comment their thoughts, if it's an alien, if it's whatever it is. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and we'll be back next week.